Hello, and welcome to an episode of Meditate with Us. It is Wednesday morning. I just finished a workout and got some clients' work this afternoon. So just gonna meditate before I get ready for that. I had said previously I was gonna say the book that I was reading. It is by Antonio Damasio, and it's called Feeling and Knowing, Making Minds Conscious. So I finished that book and found it interesting, really appreciated his focus on feelings and really kind of like, what is a feeling? Where does a feeling come from? And how does a feeling relate to consciousness? And I really resonate with feelings, more so than thoughts. And so it seemed, and Antonio Damasio did as well. And so I really appreciated that about the book. I did find the book to be beyond my level. So I would frequently find myself kind of not following, not tracking. And I'd have to go back and listen again. And even as I listened again, I would not really track. So it seems to me it's catered to more of a person that maybe has a background in science, an academic. Which is interesting because of his focus on feelings and less of a focus on the cognitive. So as I think about my own path and think about my own contribution, how I posed the question to my HMC group chat, to this group chat from the process, from Special Forces experience. How do I expand consciousness? That's the question that's come to me, and so that's what I'm asking myself. That's what I'm asking myself, and the answer has to do with that accessibility. The answer has to do with feelings. It has to do with play. It has to do with stillness. It has to do with connection. And it has to do with combining all those ideas and putting them together, communicating them to the masses in a way that's accessible to a really broad number of listeners or readers or whatever medium I decide to communicate that message. Maybe it's this medium. Maybe I'm doing it already, and that's, so maybe it's more about what do I have to let go of? Something that's coming up for me now is letting go of alcohol. It's not something that's serving me. I've talked about it here before. And so and as you do that, more things surface. It becomes clearer. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with my thinking and feeling today. Also, I have been doing 30-minute meditations, and I think that that's a really good number. I really like 30 minutes. I've said on here before that longer is better. I'm going back on that idea. 30 minutes is a great number. I've heard suggested, others have settled on 15 minutes a day. I really like that amount. I just don't want to not get back to it. Anyways, I'm going to try and play with the amount of time. Today, I've decided I'm going to do a 20-minute meditation. For a long time, I was meditating for 20 minutes, and I really liked it. And I'm just going to see how that goes today. So if you'd like to join me for a 20-minute meditation, I invite you to adopt that nice, tall, dignified posture. And just really settling into that seat of consciousness. Allowing yourself to witness the external environment. Allowing yourself to witness the internal environment. And recognizing that the breath is constantly going in or out, whether you manipulate it or not. it's there. Now I'm going to press start on the timer. We can sit together for the next 20 minutes in silence and stillness until the timer stops. it's hard to find the words. Incredible meditation. I found myself contemplating, how do I expand consciousness? And in that contemplation came to the conclusion that by posing that question, it gives me clarity on the answer, which is the way in that I already am expanding consciousness. But if I lose clarity, I'm less effective at the unique way in which I have always been expanding consciousness. So there's value in posing the question for each of us. I also acknowledge to myself that that was cognition, that was more mental chatter, and was able to, I mean, chatter doesn't sound like it's giving it enough credit, but so I sat with the breath, and I did have a moment in which I've read about and listened to people talk about, where between the breath, the space between the breath, my mind was quiet. I was here. Thank you very much for meditating with me today. I hope you join me again soon. Namaste.